So there's a backstory to Sonic Outlaws, and that is in the days leading up to the release of U2's album Achtung Baby, experimental rock group Negativland kind of released a parody track slash cover of the famous song I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And the song contains a kind of funny reading of Bono's lyrics, and it's also layered with this track of Casey Kasem kind of reaming out his engineer and kind of dumping on U2.
That's the letter U and the numeral 2. The four-man band features Adam Clayton on bass, Larry Mullen on drums, Dave Evans, nicknamed The Edge, on... This is bullshit. Nobody cares. These guys are from England, and who gives a shit? Oh, yeah.
And this footage was the backbone to their kind of sample-inspired brand of subversive rock. The cover featured a Lockheed U-2 spy plane with the Negativland logo printed underneath it. Well, this didn't go over well. People lost their shit. Tower Records was featuring the Negativland album as if it were a new U2 single, and people lost their collective shit. It launched a huge controversy and a lawsuit from Island Records, but I think Mark Hostler from Negativland can explain it a little bit better than me.
Ended up turning into a single. Side one was a cover version of the U2 song I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. We had a sort of dramatic reading of the lyrics by a member of the group, David, also known as the Weatherman, who kind of butchered Bono's lyrics and altered them. Now when you do a cover version of a song, you don't have to get permission, but if you alter the lyrics, you got to get permission. So we did that. We used a 30-second chunk of the U2 song as the beginning intro. Of course, didn't clear that. There's bad words in this, and that was they didn't like that either. But the final thing that really brought it to the attention of Island Records, that really made them decide to nail our asses, was that we ended up making the record look like this. And we thought this would be funny. It's confusing. It looks like a new album from U2 that's called Negativland. And we liked the idea that you put this in a record store and people are confused. We liked the idea of creating this at the moment of consumption. You're not quite sure what's going on here. And Negativland's always been interested in creating that kind of moment of what is this? Or they can't do that, but they are. How is this possible? And we've been able to do that a few different times in our career, and it's very thrilling to get to do. We also assumed people would figure it out, but never underestimate the inattentiveness of the average American.
So this kerfuffle is a launching point for the film. It's an anarchic swirl of 90s media culture and the political landscape at the time. And it evokes a profound sense of the artistic pursuit from the point of view of people who are probably the hardest working artists, who sadly don't get as much attention as they deserve. Craig Baldwin's film sadly doesn't get as much attention as it should. The film can be found on a few streaming platforms, Vimeo and Fandor, I believe. But I actually had found a VHS of it online. And in my opinion, it's actually a very fitting way to experience the film. But anyway, it's a good way to watch the movie. Unfortunately, it's not available online right now, but you can find a lot of other Baldwin's work on his website, Other Cinema Digital. I'll include a link to the website in the description. So let's check out the trailer for Sonic Outlaws.
We'll get right into this after this very, very important
Now, this film
message.
makes me nostalgic
So
in the
very
best
careful.
possible way, in that it's
let's just call
mired
it U2,
in
'cause we have a
pirated
U2
radio
spy plane.
signals,
In
bootleg
modern
tapes,
terms,
bootleg
appropriation is
VHSs,
often about
culture
culture
jamming,
jamming,
the Barbie
capturing
Liberation
the
Organization,
corporately controlled subjects of the one-way
splicing,
media
audio
barrage,
mixing, and
reorganizing
all those
them
wonderful
to be a
things
comment
that,
upon themselves
before the
and spitting them
proliferation of
back
the
into
internet,
barrage
we had to get
for
a little more
cultural
creative with
consideration.
our social
Our very
protests and
process of
our
cultural evolution is now
countercultural
so
idealism,
rejected by
and it's so
opportunistic
perfectly
claims of
articulated in
ownership
this
that it
film.
amounts to censorship.
Now it's looking for something. Oh, there's another one.
Keep your mouth shut.
In here, this is so fucking cool. So yeah, the Emergency Broadcast Network, that footage there with Jack Ryan, is a really cool song called Get Down. You have to check it out, it's awesome. See, there's the Barbie Liberation Organization. For our Simpsons savvy subscriber, you'll likely recognize it from the Talking Malibu Stacy episode. The whole lawsuit with Island Records and Negative Land and U2, for many would just be this kind of little trivia in rock history. However, Craig Baldwin recognized the potential in this.
About 10 days after the single came out, a 180-page lawsuit landed on our doorstep.
And uses it as a jumping off point to explore this cultural climate of artistic brilliance. And not only does he have a perfect eye for it, but it's a perfect summarization of his aesthetic. It's a completely unique form of artistic expression, and it's perfectly realized here in this film. But it also, reflects an important treatise on the nature of copyright law, of fair use, and just the very notion of artistic ownership. Who's to say who owns what art and where it goes and where it belongs?
Bob, commercials. I get confused by all the claims being commercials.
Thanks for watching. This has been Alex from the Trailer Project. Stay safe out there. Bye.